have Chef Michael Bennett of Bimini Boatyard here in Fort Lauderdale to show us a great recipe. Chef Michael, thank you for being here.
Hey, thank you.
And I'm pumped because salmon is one of my favorite foods. I understand we're making your fantastic version of the delightful fish.
We're going to have Antillean spiced salmon, which is a sweet spice, not a hot and spicy one.
All right. We've got to wrap things up. I want to let you know that Chef Michael has 2 books. This one comes out this week, right?
Right.
Okay, what's this one called, the new one?
Underneath a Cloudless Sky.
Oh, I like that. Underneath a Cloudless Sky. It's deep. You're very deep, Chef Michael.
Thank you
for being here today.
Thank you.
The Caribbean. And to that point, I'll tell you, we were looking over your book.
Oh, beautiful book.
The Land of Misfits, Pirates, and
Thank
Cooks.
you.
What a book. I mean, just the title.
The Misfits, Pirates, and Cooks, it's all about the Caribbean. It's unbelievable. It came to me one day, and it was just so appropriate, you know?
Well, so for those of us who've not been to the Caribbean, I mean, what's the lure?
Well,
what's the allure?
What the lure is, for me, I dream about it every day, just the blue water. If you see a couple pictures in the book, you'll know why, but when you get there in person, it's the water, and it's the people you meet, and that's kind of like why I've named it Misfits, because you know, what goes on in the Caribbean stays in the Caribbean kind of thing.
Oh. Well, we were looking at some of the pictures because you do generously share on your website, foodbrats.com. If you click open that, we can actually look at this first book. And we are going to focus a little bit on the first book, although we will get to your newly launched book, too. But we were just looking at looking at it and looking at some of the... You provide a lot of information at the beginning of the book as well. Okay, so now back to this cookbook, though, I want to talk about. So could you talk a little bit about, so you were inspired by the Caribbean, and you spend quite a bit of time there, right? So could you just kind of provide an overview of kind of how that book was organized and some of the kinds of things that you were trying to convey there? A sense of what the flavors are like that are particular to Caribbean food?
Flavors are outstanding, you know, very, very noticeable. And it's usually with a tropical fruit. Now, mango, of course, being the king of fruits, it's always in a lot of dishes.
Okay.
But guava, soursop, guava, banana, and mango grow on the streets. I mean, you just run down the road, and sometimes it's hard to drive on the mountain roads because the mango trees hang over the roads, and then the mangoes drop on the road, and then your tire hits them.
Oh, no.
You know, and if you try to brake when you're sliding on a mango, it's 800 feet down the side of the mountain.
So what is your background? I'm just curious. How long have you been a chef, and how did you come to finally decide to take some of what you've been doing all these years and put it in